is a new dollar bill. And this is the signature of the Treasurer of the United States, Elizabeth Rudell Smith. What is your name, please?
My name is Elizabeth Rudell Smith. My name is Elizabeth Rudell Smith.
My name is Elizabeth Rudell Smith.
Only one of these ladies is the real Elizabeth Rudell Smith, Treasurer of the United States. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Peggy King, Johnny Carson, and Kitty Carlisle. On to Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth. Brought to you this week by Anacin, the headache remedy with a special combination of ingredients to relieve pain, fight depression, calm jittery nerves. Anacin. Peggy, it's a great pleasure to welcome you to our show tonight.
Thank you, Bud.
Have fun.
I will.
Now, panel, may I ask you to open up your envelopes for the first time tonight? Take out your first affidavit card and follow along as I read. I, Elizabeth Rudell Smith, am Treasurer of the United States. I was appointed to my post by President Kennedy in December of last year. My signature will appear on all paper money printed during my term of office. The United States is the only major country in the world that does not differentiate its paper money by either size or color. To simplify and speed up the handling of money, I have proposed that each denomination of United States currency be printed in a different color. Signed, Elizabeth Rudell Smith. We have three ladies to begin tonight's festivities. Panel, each one of them, as you heard, as I did, claiming to be Elizabeth Rudell Smith, the Treasurer of the United States. And let's begin this first round of questioning with Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Thank you, Bud. Mrs. Smith, number one, can you tell me who destroys all the money in the United States?
Well, the Federal Reserve destroys the Treasury's money, and the Treasury destroys the Federal Reserve money.
And who's the man that destroys it all?
Well, it's handled by the department. We don't have a specific man.
I see. Number two, what was the name of your predecessor?
Ivy Priest.
And number three, can you tell me the name of another one of your predecessors?
Georgia Niece Clark.
And number three, could you tell me when you were appointed to this job, what were you doing at that time?
I was Assistant Labor Commissioner in the state of California.
Number two, who is the head of the Passport Bureau?
I don't really know. That isn't in my
department. Number three, do you know who's the head of the Passport?
I'm afraid I don't.
Tom.
Thank you, Bud. I don't want to be too specific, but I know some things that maybe I... number one, please. What floor is your office on?
On the second floor.
Do you agree with that, number three, please? Number three, do you agree with that reply?
It is on the second floor? Yes, I do.
Number three, could you tell me what is the name of the paper which our money is printed on? If you'll forgive a preposition at the end of the sentence.
Sorry, I don't know. You mean
Oh.
special? It has a special name? I didn't know it did.
Number two, number two, have any of the treasurers of the United States ever been left-handed?
I really haven't known them that well.
You haven't known them that well?
Pretty quirky, Peggy King.
Number one, whose picture's on the $100 bill? Washington. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the dollar bill. No, $100 bill. On the $100 bill is Franklin. Benjamin Franklin. Do you agree with that, number two? Yes. Number three, how many women treasurers have there been that you can recall?
I believe there have been three.
Only three. How much money, and number one, how much money per day is printed in the Treasury Department? Approximately $1 billion. $1 billion? $1 billion. Number two, is there a special kind of ink used? Yes, definitely. Do you know anything about it? What kind of ink? I don't know anything about the ink, just the colors. The back is green and the black is used on the front.
Johnny Carson.
Number three, how many times does a serial number appear on a piece of paper currency?
I believe twice.
Number 2, would you agree to that?
Yes, I will.
You were asking about the floors a minute ago. What does that have to do with what floor they're on?
He's been there.
Oh. I thought maybe it was unlisted floor or something. I didn't know. Number 1, whose picture
Stealing money.
Whose picture is on a $100,000 bill?
President Wilson.
All right. Got it. Okay. No. She's right. Wilson. Number 2, do they still print $2 bills?
Yes, they do.
Number 1, what's the advantage of...
Right, that's all. Advantage or disadvantage, we've come to the end of our own particular rope in this first round, and it is time now to burn the money and to mark your ballots, if you will, please, in your own inimitable way. Without any consultation, will you kindly vote now for number 1, number 2, or number 3? As always, the team of challengers will get $250 for every incorrect vote. Everybody set and voted? Okay. Tom, for whom did you vote this first time?
I voted for number 1. Who said no? If you had had a $100,000 bill in your pocket when she answered that question, you'd have voted for her, too.
Peggy, which one do you think is the real one?
I voted for number 1 because I'm new and I think I'm entitled to one wild guess.
This may be it. Okay, Johnny.
Number 1.
Number 1. So far unanimous.
Number 1. She knew that the $100,000 bill. Well, no, not that I have one, but...
Kitty.
I voted for number 3, but before I tell my reason, I want to apologize to Tom. I didn't mean you were really stealing the money. That was a joke. But you didn't laugh, so I thought you might have taken it seriously.
How come they sent me to Leavenworth for so long? It was a joke. Tell them, don't tell me.
I thought it was number 3 because number 1 didn't know the man who destroyed the money. And we had the man who destroyed the money for the Treasury on this show. So if I'm wrong, it's Goodson Todman's fault.
Well, there's placing the blame. Goodson Todman are the ones who destroy the money? All right. With the votes in and our minds made up, let's see how well we made out as we discover now which one of these ladies is the real treasurer of the United States. So will the real Elizabeth Rudell Smith please stand up? As rain, Kitty. Good for you. You left the rest of the panel behind you. Let's find out about the others now. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do?
Yes, my name is Edith A. Ames. I'm a retired major from the Army, and I'm currently the director of the Cerebral Palsy Clinic in Belleville, New Jersey.
Number 2, your real name and what you really do, besides destroying money, that is.
Yes, my name is Betty Houck, and I'm from Saddle River, New Jersey.
Miss Smith, I want to tell you what a great pleasure it's been to have you and a great honor to have you on our show tonight, representing this great government of ours. And I think I speak for a lot of people when we say it would be a great convenience having different colored money, and I hope your proposal goes through.
Hear, hear.
Wish you good luck with it. I don't know how many of the rest of you are fans of a certain baseball club, but doesn't the name Mrs. Houck ring any bells with you?
Ralph Houck?
Ralph Houck's wife, that's right. That's who she is, number 2. Manager of the league-leading Yankees with a rather comfortable lead and a couple of twins that are damaging everything that comes before them.
Right.
Nice to have you all with us tonight.
Thank you.
Well, checking on the score, we find there was only 1 correct. That was Kitty, and 3 incorrect at $250 each. Not bad, ladies. $750 from Anison, and a gift package of all the fine products from the makers of Anison. Thanks so much. Hope you had a laugh or two. Good night. Good luck to you. Now, panel, may I introduce our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Dave Sisler.
My name is George Sisler.
My name is Dave Sisler.
My name is George Sisler.
My name is Dave Sisler.
My name is George Sisler.
Follow along once again, panel, having had a look at our crowd up there. We, George and Dave Sisler, are both active in professional Major League Baseball. I, Dave, moved up to the major leagues only after 1 year in the minors. I am currently pitching for the Washington Senators in the American League. I, George, am batting instructor for the Pittsburgh Pirates of the National League. At the peak of my playing career, I was voted the league's most valuable player and have a lifetime batting average of .340. In 1939, I was elected to baseball's Hall of Fame. We, George and Dave, are father and son. Signed, George Sisler and Dave Sisler. Farewell, panel. Large group of stalwart-looking gentlemen over here, in each pair, claiming to be George and Dave Sisler, father and son baseball stars. We'll begin this round of questioning with Tom Poston. Tom?
Thank you, Bud. Number 3, George Sisler. Mr. Sisler, you don't happen to know Mrs. Ralph Haupt, do you? Perfectly lovely lady, but a terrible liar.
Yes.
You know who she is?
Yes.
Tell me, Mr. Sisler, number 3, who is the pitching coach, the batting practice coach, the batting coach of the St. Louis Cardinals?
Which Mr. Sisler, number 3?
The
David
same one
George?
I'm talking to, yeah.
Sorry.
Would you mind repeating the question?
George, you're right. It's you to whom I'm speaking. Who is the batting coach of the St. Louis Cardinals?
We have several of them. They
Not
have
you,
several.
not on your team, on the Cardinals. You're not with St. Louis, are you, George?
He
Yes.
said they have several, is what he said.
As I understand it, these gentlemen are with Pittsburgh.
One of them is. Peggy.
Are you finished? Are you finished? Did you
Yeah,
ask?
no, I am. I'm so finished. Peggy.
You got things off to a flying stop, Tom.
Let's see. I don't know anything about baseball. Dave, number 2, who do you consider baseball's all-time most valuable player? And don't say your father. I mean, you know.
Well, Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb. I know him. There's a name I know. Do you agree with that, Dave, number 3? I might start a fight here.
No, not necessarily.
Who do you think?
Babe Ruth?
Dave Ruth. What about you, Dave, number 1?
Yes, I'd say Dave Ruth.
Dave, number 1. Who was Tris Speaker?
Oh, he's another member in the Hall of Fame.
Our own...
I wasn't sure he was in baseball myself.
Our own baseball star, Johnny Carson.
Number 1, George, what time of day was your son born?
3:30 in the morning, if I remember correctly.
Aren't they always so? Yeah. Number 3, who was the latest member to be... number 3. Who was the latest member to be elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame? The latest one. Number 2, Dave, how do you figure earned run average?
You try and figure the earned runs the opposing team has hit off of you, and then you divide it by 9 innings and the number of games you've pitched.
Really?
Kitty.
George, number 1, is your father your teacher?
Well, not necessarily so.
Oh, I meant Dave.
George is the old...
I'm sorry. I meant Dave.
He played a different position than I do.
He does. Oh, he did. He couldn't teach you anything.
Oh, probably.
George.
Afraid that's it. We've come to our own 9th inning. It's not a tie, so we have to go whether we struck out or not right now. So let's check our earned run averages as we mark our ballots. Will you please,
Can I vote
panel?
for one father and another son?
No mixing families, Peggy. All right. Will you please mark your ballots without consultation and vote for pair number 1, pair number 2, or pair number 3. All votes in. Everybody marked. Okay. Thomas, how did you vote this time?
Wrong, Bud. I voted for number 2. I hope it's because somebody here knows Dave or George and has seen him play. I haven't. But I voted for number 2 for this reason. I apologize for giving my reason. Nobody asked Mr. Sisler, Sr., any questions. And a guy that comes to all the trouble to be on a show like this deserves a break, so I voted for him.
Peggy King, how did you vote?
I voted for number 3 because the other 2 were wearing glasses.
Okay. Johnny, your vote?
I don't want to vote.
I'm just not going to vote. Is there any rules in this program to say you have to vote?
No, we'll count it as a vote. We'll count it as a wrong vote.
Still sulking about only getting one question last week?
I'm sulking about last week. I just don't want to vote.
Okay, that'll count as an incorrect vote. Kitty.
Well, I only got one question this week. My most important question was, were they both sitting on the same chair? Because I voted for number 3. I thought I could lip read the number 3 pair, the son saying to the father, "Are you all right, Pop?" And if he didn't say, "Are you all right, Pop?" I can't lip read.
That's one of the most fascinating reasons I've ever heard. Well, reasons or not, we're at that point again. Let's find out how right or wrong we are as we learn which one of this pair are the real father and son baseball stars. So will the real Dave and George Sisler please stand up? I don't know how many of you are too young to know just how great a player Dave's dad was, but it sure gives a future player a mark to shoot at, doesn't it, Dave? And it's a real honor, sir, to have you with us tonight, believe me, especially at this time in the pennant races that are getting so keen. Let's check on the others now. First pair, Dave and George. Tell us your real names and what you really do.
My name is Dale Swanson, and I'm a telephone company switchman from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
My name is Pat Patterson. I'm a maintenance painter for the Beach Aircraft Corporation in Wichita, Kansas.
No, but the others aren't father and son at all, necessarily. Pair number 3, would you tell us your real name and what you really do?
My name is Richard Tarikian. I'm a graduate student in chemistry at St. Joseph's College in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
My name is Lou Camp. I sell Chrysler and Plymouth cars for O'Connor Motors in Arlington, Massachusetts.
Thank you, sir. And so once again, we had 1 correct and 3 incorrect. You came close to defeating the panel, as did the first round, gentlemen. That means 3 at $250 each for a grand total of $750. Not bad, especially with the entertainment you gave us. We hope we gave you some. As well as, of course, a gift package of fine products from the makers of Anderson. Thanks so much for being with us. Good night. Good luck to you, Dave, and George. Third team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Midge Moore.
My name is Midge Moore.
My name is Midge Moore.
Follow along once again, if you will, panel, with this affidavit. I, Captain Midge Moore, am the skipper of a fishing boat. I have my master's papers and am licensed to operate and navigate passenger-carrying vessels. My boat, the Seahawk, is 46 feet long and is equipped with diesel power and radar. 6 days a week in season, I take 2 or 3 dozen fishermen 11 miles offshore to the fishing grounds. Our average take is 400 pounds per trip. I come by my job naturally, since I represent the 6th generation of sea captains in my family. Signed, Captain Midge Moore. This time we have 3 ladies, panel, each one claiming to be Captain Midge Moore, skipper of the fishing vessel Seahawk. And we start this time with Johnny Carson. Johnny?
Captain number 1, what does red right return mean? Red right return.
Red right return.
What's it mean?
Return with the red buoy on the left side.
Number 2, Captain, if 2 vessels are on a collision course, what action do you take?
Well, you send a Mayday signal to the Coast Guard.
Number 3, your ship is 48 feet long, your boat?
No, 46 foot.
What lights do you have to carry on a 48-foot ship?
Well, you're in a class where you are required to... Pardon?
Class what?
Class 3.
Class 3.
Yes, you're required to have your running lights.
Just running lights.
Kitty.
Number 3, where do you fish from?
Saco, Maine.
Maine. Number 2, what is plankton?
Pardon?
Plankton.
Plankton is a kind of fish.
Number 1, can you name 3 kinds of shark?
3 kinds of sharks?
Please.
No.
Number 3, what is your catch?
Fish.
What kind?
That's the place to get them, all right.
What kind do you get?
Cod, cuss, pollock.
Tom.
Is it my turn? Number one, why the Seahawk? What was it named? Why the name
Named for a
Seahawk?
pirate.
Number two, can you tell me how many feet in a fathom?
Yes. 6 feet in a fathom.
Number three, what are sheets? Do you happen to know, besides what you put on a bed, of course?
We don't use them on the boat. Would be sails.
Peggy.
Number three, did you always want to be a skipper?
Well, I don't know.
Number two, when you were a little girl, did you play with dolls or boats?
Been aboard a boat ever since I was big enough to walk.
Always. Number one, what kind of fish do you catch?
Oh, we catch grouper, red snapper, pike.
That's it. Once again, we've come to the end of our particular fish line this time, so chum away, folks, and mark your ballots, if you will, please. I don't know why you're shaking your head no, but here we go. And without consultation, will you mark your ballot for number one, number two, or number three? All ballots marked? Everybody?
Yes, I'm
set?
sorry, I have.
Okay. Johnny, have you marked? I can't call until they're all marked.
No, I haven't, but I'm going to.
All right. Okay. Tom, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number three because of the answers, you see. And I think the other two made some rather grievous mistakes for ocean-going fishing ladies and boat captains. I thought number three gave the best answers.
Peggy, which one did you select?
I voted for number two because I think it's number one. And I don't want to spoil a perfect record. I've been wrong all night.
Johnny.
I voted for number one. I don't think number three... she doesn't look old enough to have her master's papers yet, really. And number two, I didn't like calling the Coast Guard in a collision. I'll go with number one.
Kitty.
Well, I voted for number three because I come from the South and you don't catch red snapper in Maine. And I voted for number two because I didn't vote for number two because of the collision. Because she said plankton was fish, and I don't think that's true. And although number three looks very young for the job, I voted for her.
Okay, there we have it. We have, let's see, Tom and Kitty voting for three, Peggy voting for two, and Johnny voting for number one. Let's see how it works out now as we discover which one of these ladies is the real fishing sea captain. So will the real Midge Moore please stand up? Do it again, Kitty. Thank you, young lady. Thank you very much. Just for the record, how old are you?
19.
19 years old. All right. Number one, would you tell us your real name and what you really do?
I'm Ruth Pope from Oklahoma City, mother of 2 and grandmother of 4.
Hey, nice job. It is that proud mother of 2 and proud grandmother from the look on your face. Number two, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
Yes, I'm Helen Tabor from New Jersey. I'm a wife and mother of 2 fine boys.
Thank you. Real close. This time there were 2 who voted for, we had a half and half thing here, 2 right and 2 wrong. And 2 wrong means, of course, 2 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total of $500. Not too bad. And we thank you for being with us. You also get, of course, a gift package of all of the fine products from the makers of Anison. Good night to you and good fishing.
Thank you.
I don't know, it always seems to come to an end too soon, for me anyway.
It's true.
Peggy, did you ever play baseball?
No, I always close my eyes when someone throws a ball at me. It was very dangerous, I found.
Johnny, were you a sea captain ever? You seem to know
I was in the Navy.
You were in the Navy?
Yeah, you'd never know it, though,
I
would
wasn't
you?
in the Navy either.
Tom was, too. He's looking down. You may get together after the show in a few
No, but I know Johnny has a boat. I've been on it.
Have you?
So I know he has a boat. He knows all those navigational
Well, you're
rules.
here, so we got you back safely. Well, that's about all the time we have for tonight among our own discussion. Happy plankton to you all. Good night, panel.
Good night,
Night,
Mike.
Bud Collier saying good night for Anison and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
The name on our mailbox is Porter,
To our friends, we're Pete and Gladys.
and we're at home next on most of these stations.
Drop in.
To Tell the Truth has been brought to you tonight by Sleep Ease, the non-narcotic sleeping tablet for a good night's sleep. Sleep Ease. Johnny Olson saying good night from To Tell the Truth. The program was pre-recorded.